The following is an exclusive presentation of the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the AHSAA Radio Network.
County has just won their 5th straight state championship and their 13th overall.
And welcome back to Inside the AHSAA. I'm your host, Luke Robinson. Really do appreciate your being with us today, joining us any which way you can. But today we're going to have a few things to talk about. Not so many players of the week, not going to focus on a single player or anything like that. Obviously it's in the summer months, so we look to different avenues for stories, and one of them is going to be, unfortunately, a sad story about Mr. Lee Davis, a legend in Birmingham, a legend in the AHSAA ranks, to be quite honest with you, a guy who wrote for Over the Mountain Journal for quite some time, and anybody associated with high school sports in Birmingham certainly knows the name of Lee Davis. He was an incredible figure, a spokesman for all things high school sports, and just a great guy overall. On top of being a fabulous journalist, he certainly will be missed. He passed away on June 2nd. We're going to talk with Chris Nix, a Birmingham native who also is with the Knight Eady group now. They are the company that puts on or helps put on the finals and the Super 7 tournaments in basketball and football, as well as many other things they do. I know that they were at the U.S. Open this past week. That's a company that's growing by leaps and bounds, and Chris is at the forefront of that. We're going to have him on in just a minute to discuss the life and times of Mr. Lee Davis. Also going to have a couple other notes here at the end of Inside the AHSAA. Going to talk a little bit about voting for your boys' High School Player of the Year at AL.com, and also going to give a big thank you to one of our corporate sponsors and to the AHSAA itself. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a minute with more Inside the AHSAA.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Sports Media, and LMG Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design, tees and signs, ad placement, and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Team is not something you do alone. Team is plural. Team is arms, legs, blood, sweat, and soul. A lot goes into team. But what we take away stays with us forever.
Even the nights are hot down south, and now they're getting spicy too. The new Jack's Spicy Chicken Sandwich with fries only $3.99. It's got fresh tomatoes, lettuce, and just the right amount of kick. Jacks, all about the South.
In a world that's ever changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a four-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, Central Alabama will provide you with courses and degree programs in tune with today's workplace. Get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
Welcome back to Inside the AHSAA. I'm your host, Luke Robinson. I'm joined now by my good friend Chris Nix, who is the Chief Development Officer of the Knight Eady Group. And they've got so many things going on. We could spend several segments talking about Knight Eady and their accomplishments and what they've had going on with the AHSAA specifically. But today, Chris, I want to talk about somebody else that was pretty special to the Birmingham community, Mr. Lee Davis.
Luke, thanks for having me in and checking in on us in I guess somewhat of a downtime for high school sports, but and the AHSAA, but never a downtime really in the AHSAA's world. So appreciate you checking in on us.
No problem. And let's go back and talk about Lee Davis here for just a second. Of course, he was a Birmingham fixture as a journalist and wrote so many fantastic articles and profiles about various athletes and schools and coaches for the Over the Mountain Journal. He's certainly going to be missed.
Yeah, Lee was one of the great ones, and I like to say Lee was always a pro. I don't claim to have known Lee really well, but known him enough to be able to comment on it, and dates back to probably my high school days in the 90s when print journalism was way more prevalent than it is now, and I was a long time newspaper reader and still am, and remember the days of even pre-Over the Mountain Journal. So I was able to meet him as a high school player, and I was a nobody high school player. And they say that Lee always included people that didn't always make it to the next level. So maybe that's what I remember about him in high school, because I certainly was one of those. And then when I was working with Edgar Weldon in 2002, when he was creating the Birmingham Athletic Partnership, Lee was very supportive of that, and that group was founded by Edgar to be a quasi-booster club for the city of Birmingham schools that don't have the booster clubs that all the other, a lot of the other schools do. And Lee was at every event we put on, every promotional event, really just writing articles where he could about the needs of the city of Birmingham athletics, and really that was the only way at the time Edgar could get his mission out, was through friends like Lee that bought into what Edgar was doing, but more importantly supported youth and high school sports and really education. So Lee was, like you said, he was a stalwart here in town, and then most recently in the last 4 years he was a friend of Knight Eady and our work. Knight Eady, we just celebrated our 4th anniversary, and our work, our company really was built off the ground with some high school sports from the beginning, and Lee was one of those that was always around a lot of what we were doing and was supportive. So to say he will be missed by his colleagues and peers in the media, but then people like me and you that are fans or working in sports, he'll be greatly missed.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, Chris, and there was a great tribute written by a former Vestavia player who now is at the University of Alabama, and I think it appeared in the Over the Mountain Journal. And you read stuff like that and you realize how important guys like Lee Davis were to the AHSAA. And I think back even to folks like Ron Ingram, who now works with the AHSAA, and how many great articles he used to write for the Birmingham News. And that was my way of keeping up with high school sports, was just waiting on Ron Ingram to put something out there or Lee Davis to put something out there back before everything was at our fingertips. And it's just a shame that he has gone so soon, and he will certainly be missed, but his impact will certainly be left.
Yeah, the Over the Mountain Journal is really one of the, it's one of the only things going still that I know you can read it online, but I don't think many people do, or at least, I don't. And I always looked forward to literally every time you opened it. It reminded me of the Feinbaum era when he was in the Post-Herald back in the mornings at the time, back when you and I were in high school. Over the Mountain Journal, you opened it, and I know you did as well because of our, love of high school sports in the Birmingham community. But Lee's column was always on the right, and you could always, on the back page, and you could always be assured, which was the front page of the sports, you could always be assured it was going to be a personal article or an article about an accomplishment of one of our local teams here in Birmingham. And even whether they won or lost, a lot of times, I remember recently he wrote an article about, I believe it was about Vestavia basketball, and they finished third or fourth in the state, however you want to call it, and he wrote it as a success story from Coach Hatchett transitioning out to a new coach and how quickly they kind of returned to glory, and he was pointing out mostly kids that really probably won't go play at the next level for sure in basketball. So that article, I read the tribute in the Journal the other night, I think just 2 nights ago, and it was, the whole back page was a tribute to Lee, and his article was missing, and I could already tell that there's going to be a big piece of the Over the Mountain Journal missing.
And it is so crucial in a time, Chris, when everybody just counts rings. If you finish second, you're the first loser. And it's important to point out things like, hey, third place isn't the worst. Fourth place isn't the worst. It's not bad. It shows progress. And so it's great that you could have great journalists point out things like that so that the kids can keep their heads up, because there are so many times when people just say, well, you either finish first or you finish last, and that's not really the case. But Lee certainly had a way with words, and I think his last article spoke volumes about him and where his heart was. I think it was titled The Island of Blue Trophies, where it talked about Homewood and Vestavia and Mountain Brook and how well that group and several other schools near him have done so well here recently. And if you're going to go out with that final article, I think that is the way for him to go for his final farewell.
Yeah, I saw that article, and I agree with you completely. It's a tribute to, kind of sums up his career of writing around here. I saw him at the Sports Hall of Fame reception, didn't get to visit with him, and of course wish I had. But one thing about Lee from the Knight Eady side, seeing him, and even before Knight Eady, when I was involved with the high school basketball tournament as a volunteer, and then doing radio with you guys, that Lee was one of those. I noticed it now because of our role in managing the tournament, managing the members of the media, helping get them, their meals and their credentials and all that. Lee always just sat there and watched the games and did his job. And that's not a shot at anybody else. It's just Lee was always there to do his job. He never did anything but have positive conversations, and in my job, when I don't remember dealing with somebody, that means they're doing their job and I'm doing mine, and they're not causing any, they don't really need anything. And I know the whole media world, and being at these high school events, you probably see and have experienced exactly what I did with Lee, and that he was always there, just being positive and doing his job, and that goes a long way these days.
He was definitely in the middle of it. And Chris, we will have you on again sometime soon, and we'll have you on Sports Blitz as well to talk about everything Knight Eady has going on. You guys were just at the U.S. Open. You're growing by leaps and bounds, doing an incredible job, and we see you out there, and we appreciate you guys. But I think for the moment, we'll leave it with your great words about Lee Davis, and we appreciate your being with us.
Well, thank you, Luke. Great topic to discuss, and I appreciate you including me.
All right, buddy. Have a great day. That's going to do it for this segment of Inside the AHSAA. We'll be back in just a minute with more.
Let's go over this again. Who starts off with a real Coke taste? Coca-Cola! And then Coca-Cola pitches the real Coke taste to who? Coca-Cola! How is Coca-Cola going to give real Coke taste to itself? Take a lap, genius! Coca-Cola takes a snap and then pitches the real Coke taste to Coke Zero running up on the right. You got it? Yeah! At that point, we fake punt the real Coke taste. Who fakes the punt?
Coke Zero Cola.
Take a lap! Coke Zero. Real Coke taste.
0 calories. So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
At Cadence, we believe money should get out of the bank and into action. Getting out into the world of business. For energy companies, the healthcare industry, legal and accounting firms, and for individuals, wealth management. When you find your Cadence in Alabama, you turn money into action. So join us and we'll work together to find your Cadence at Cadence Bank.
Member FDIC.
You may know them from high school, from the local grocery store, or even your own neighborhood. These local teens have embarked on a new journey, one that begins at Southern Union State Community College. Visit suscc.edu/journey to see the life's journey these students have planned. We believe that you have an amazing journey ahead of you too, and Southern Union is the perfect place to begin at an affordable price close to home. Southern Union, where the journey begins.
More heart.
More drive. More will.
More guts.
More sweat.
More dedication.
More practice. More control.
More clutch.
More hard work.
More fun.
More family.
More love.
More basketball.
Baseball.
College tennis.
More every day.
More everything. More
to come.
More Wilson.
Welcome back to Inside the AHSAA. I'm your host, Luke Robinson. Thanks so much for being with us. To wrap the show up this week, just a couple of things. First of all, our good friend Josh Bean over at AL.com, he does a great job covering all high school sports in the state of Alabama. They've got a cool poll going on right now where you can vote for the Boys Player of the Year in high school sports. It covers football, basketball, soccer, the whole 9 yards. So go check that out and put your vote in at AL.com. Secondly, a personal note here as part of the AHSAA radio network. I know I speak for Randy Lee and Brett Pritchard here when I say that we are very, very grateful to the AHSAA and to our corporate sponsors, specifically Russell Do-It Center and Russell Lands. They had a great luncheon the other day with us where we talked about the relationship between those corporate sponsors, the AHSAA and us, the AHSAA radio network. And Randy and Brett had an idea about this radio network a long time ago, about 11, 12 years ago, and for 10 years we have been the AHSAA radio network, and I know that I have certainly enjoyed my time with this network, and Brett and Randy do an incredible job to make sure that we are as prepared as we can possibly be for the various games that we get to call. And we get to call a lot of games, and we get to call teams that frankly sometimes we may not know a lot about. They may be from all corners of the state that we don't get to visit all too often. But you just have to look into it and find out about them. And some of the most fun games I've ever called have been 1A girls semifinal games in the finals basketball tournament at BJCC. And we have really just enjoyed our relationship with the AHSAA. We appreciate them so much. We also appreciate our corporate sponsor in Russell Do-It Center and Russell Lands. Some great people over there. Kirby Scales does an amazing job with Russell Do-It Center. So we just wanted to say, from all of us at the AHSAA Radio Network, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate the opportunity you guys have given us. Well, that's going to do it for this week inside the AHSAA. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll be back next week with more